also states of awareness. Okay, so when people refer to the subconscious, they're not talking about a frame of mind. They're not talking about a certain way of thinking. They're talking about the unconscious, okay, or what's operating in the background. When people talk about the conscious mind, that's the mind that is aware of the conscious moment that you're in right now. Your subconscious is observing everything, but underneath it all. So like a hard drive in a computer, it's underneath. You're not looking at the hard drive. You're looking at the keys on your computer. You're looking at the screen of your computer. But the hard drive is where the programs are stored, and it works beneath the surface, beneath where you can see. So these are states of awareness. Good morning, Jay. Good morning, Alan. Good morning. Good morning, Don. Good morning, guys. So these are states of awareness. Now, how do we get there? How do we understand the conscious, subconscious, and superconscious? Well, first, let's talk about the conscious living in the mind. Okay, these are not simply modes of thinking. Okay, these are states of awareness. There's a difference. So when you say consciousness, you're talking about the superconscious. Consciousness, superconscious. Subconscious, below the surface. Okay, your subconscious is a culmination of all of your thinking, everything. Everything you smell, everything you taste, everything you touch, everything you hear, everything you see. Your conscious mind thinks all of the thoughts. It's the gatekeeper. Okay, the gatekeeper means that your conscious mind has the conscious ability to say no, to stop. You can stop your conscious mind. Now, people that have no control over their conscious mind are being severely overrun by their subconscious. The subconscious learns in repetition. So how does that happen? Well, let's say you feel fear all the time. Let's say you're rushing all the time. Let's say you're worried all the time. Your subconscious learns these actions and begins to repeat it into your life. So your subconscious will learn these behaviors and repeat them for you. So when your subconscious learns something, okay, it will give you things to support your belief. So if you're worried, your subconscious will learn to worry. And then it will give you evidence of that. It will give you things to support it. Okay, I'm talking about your perceptions, your habits, your automatic responses, your knee-jerk reactions. Okay, even your emotions. Your subconscious learns all of this, and it keeps feeding it to you. And what happens? You go in a circle. You start going in a circle because these things repeat. Pretty soon, everything triggers you. Pretty soon, everything worries you, or whatever it is. Now, the opposite is true as well. The opposite is true. Good morning, Jay. The opposite is true as well. If you're happy all the time, if you're laid back, if you're carefree, if you're living lightly. What do you mean lightly? So if you're living lightly, if you're taking baby steps through life, you know, kind of like checking to see if the water is cold in the swimming pool instead of just diving in and suffering the consequences. Like that. Live lightly. When you live hard, you get harsh circumstances. When you push, you get harsh circumstances when you make a mistake. Mistakes happen. But your subconscious learns to be fearful. Your subconscious learns to be loving. Your subconscious learns any and all of your emotions, and it repeats it. So how does this work in the positive? Well, when you establish a positive habit, and a positive habit is not hard to establish, It's just as easy with a negative habit. Thank you guys. Hey Diction, thank you Diction. Appreciate you, thank you. A positive habit is just as easy to learn. So what's necessary? Repetition. Just repeat, repeat, repeat. By the third time you've done something, you know it already. Your subconscious has learned it. Okay, you're much more sensitive as a human, as a Homo sapien. Human is another term, but it's technical and we're not going to go there. But as a Homo sapien, as the knowing man or woman, okay, it only takes you a few repetitions for your subconscious to go, oh, okay, I got it. You're much more sensitive than you realize. So let me give you an example. I use cookies as an example. Okay, so let's say you go to your friend's house, right? And they're having a party and they have cookies. And you go, can I have a cookie? And you go, oh, sure, yeah, help yourself. And you have a cookie, right? And you go, wow, that's a good cookie, right? Can I have another cookie? And they're like, yeah, sure, yeah, help yourself. Eat all you want. And you have another cookie and possibly one more. And then comes the question, where do you get these cookies? And they go, Costco. And then you find yourself standing in line, holding the bag of cookies, right? And guess what? Now you have a cookie habit. Because your subconscious has learned, oh, I like these cookies. I like these cookies. I eat these cookies. That's the program. I like these cookies. So now you're buying the cookies and you're reinforcing the habit. Okay, so you're reinforcing the action. Now you will be eating more of those cookies because now you have a bag of them. Now there's nothing wrong with this. It's not about right or wrong. It's about how your subconscious learns. So don't look at it as a, well, that's bad because it's cookies, it's sugar, that, you know, don't look at it like that. Yes, there are certain health guidelines for certain things, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about habits. So let's do a good habit. What's a good habit? A habit that maybe won't have you gain weight or eat sugar or, you know, like that, right? Okay, well, let's say you have a pen. This is my favorite pen. Okay, I like it because it's big. And let's say you establish the habit, I am so happy and grateful now that I am confident. Good habit, right? So confidence is not something you add to yourself. You are already confident. You're confident already. You just have to get rid of the junk. The prison is here. When you get rid of the junk here, then automatically, right? Like automatic confidence emerges. Why is that? Because you are confidence. You were born out of love. You were born into love. You are love. It's just that life happened and a lot of things get piled on, okay? Or enter here. Or let's say it another way, enters your subconscious and repeats itself. I used to work with serial monogamists. These guys were serial monogamists. They had to be in a marriage. They had to be married. Why does that happen? Well, it's just a habit. But here's the thing. What creates a serial monogamist? A serial monogamist generally happens because someone is applying the same program to a different girl, to a different girl, to a different girl. And it doesn't matter who the girl is at that point because the program keeps happening over and over and over. So there's the first marriage and the tendencies are there, the habits are there, the actions are there. Second marriage, same tendencies, same actions, same thing. So let's take an example that's familiar. Okay, let's say first marriage, okay, and let's say it's the guy, and let's say he cheats. Okay, so he cheats, she finds out, divorce. Second marriage, goes good for a while, goes good for a while. Then the program kicks in, he cheats, she finds out, divorce. Then there's the new one. Okay, now this is the third marriage, same thing. Okay, it's going along good for a while, it's good for a while. And then what happens? He cheats, and then divorce. Okay, what was the common denominator in these three? Cheating. Doesn't matter who the girl is, does it? No, it doesn't. But it's a subconscious program. The reason is not important. The action is important because there's a belief in the subconscious. And who knows what that belief is? The belief could be, I get bored easily. The belief could be, I enjoy different types of women. The belief could be, I'm polyamorous. The belief could be, I need a variety. But these patterns keep emerging. They keep coming forth because it's in the subconscious. Now, can you reverse it? Of course you can. And it's easy. So let's give you an example. I am so happy and grateful now that I am faithful in my relationships. Thank you. There you go. And now what do? Now you write that once in the morning. You speak it out loud once at night when your brain is in theta state on both ends. In the morning when you first wake up, before you do anything else, before coffee, before thinking too hard. And then you read it out loud at night when you're just getting ready to turn off the light and go to bed. That's when your subconscious is the most receptive. Now, what else is your subconscious receptive to? Imagery, pictures, yourself in the mirror, sound, your voice, sound in general, music, okay? But your subconscious is very susceptible to impression from visuals and audio. So your voice is important. So when you speak something, you can speak something into existence. Is it witchcraft? Is it magic? Is it black magic? No, it's your subconscious. When you declare something, when you like they say, own it, when you own it, when you declare it, when you proclaim it, your subconscious starts listening. When you use I am, your subconscious starts listening. I am faithful in my relationships. And then the gratitude part, thank you, at the end. So what happens? Your subconscious begins to believe you are faithful. Do you cheat anymore? Probably not. Because when you even think of cheating, now your subconscious goes, hey, wait. I thought we were being faithful. It's that angel on this side and the devil on this side in the cartoons, like that. And the subconscious, who has now been programmed into becoming faithful, is the angel. And the old program, which is the cheater, is on this side. And this one will have that, emergence, like, yeah, maybe she would be good to have an affair with, maybe she would be good to, whatever, right? But the angel's gonna go, wait. And that's how it works. Let me give you another example. Okay, I always talk about this, the diet, because I go on diets all the time. Okay, so if you're going on a diet, you don't say, I want to lose so many pounds. You don't use negative words like lose, loss, okay? So what you want to do is, I am so happy and grateful now that I weigh, and then put your ideal weight, okay? So I'm so happy and grateful now that I weigh X number of pounds. So like 175 pounds, 190 pounds, 200 pounds, whatever your goal is. Okay, so this is manifestation, or you can call it goal setting, either one. Okay, It's you, the human being. This is not some mystical force that does this stuff for you. It's you. So now I am so happy and grateful now that I weigh 190 pounds. Thank you. Now what happens? Well, you repeat the process. Write it in the morning, speak it at night, and keep doing this. In 2 weeks, you will feel a shift. In 63 days, it will become factual. It will become a belief. It will become a thing in your subconscious. Now that it's a thing in your subconscious, it becomes a belief. A belief is a thought you keep thinking. So now guess what happens? You're at the party on the weekend, and you pass the dessert table, and you see all those beautiful cakes and pies, and you take a look, and the initial reaction is, wow, look. And your subconscious will go, 190 pounds, right? And then you go, yeah, okay, all right, pass. That's how it works. Those are easy to understand examples. Those are easily achieved. Good habits are easily achieved. People stay away from good habits or positive habits or whatever you want to call that, right? Beneficial habits. They stay away from it because they feel, it's not reality. They just feel like it's a lot of work. They feel like it's an ordeal. Okay, I have a question. What's the question? I will answer all questions, you guys. Sorry, I'm just in the middle of an explanation. Where is the question? I'm scanning this thing. I'm looking in our text. How to overcome retroactive jealousy. Okay, Diction, explain retroactive jealousy, because that's not a clinical term. It's not a term I'm familiar with. Retroactive. Are you talking about jealousy that gets passed down, or like you're jealous because someone in your family was jealous, or you have that tendency? What is that? Diction, can you please elaborate, and I'll be right back to it. So once your subconscious believes something, it works to support the belief. It will show you evidence of it. And when it shows you evidence of it, it will reinforce it. And once those actions or habits are reinforced, they become automatic. So if it's a good habit, it's automatically good. Look at military people, okay? If there's any military people in the house, first of all, thank you for your service. But look at military people. They are trained, right, to get up, to shave, to get dressed, to be neat, to make their bed, to fold their clothes properly, to do all these things. They're trained for that. And guess what? Those habits last a lifetime. You can look at retired military personnel. They dress the same as they did in basic training. They have the same habits because they acquired good habits. So the military will break people of their bad habits or their old habits, let's say, and they will train them into new habits because it is the military way, and everything is uniform and everything's done a certain way. And for the rest of their lives, they live like that. They're neat, they're dressed well, they're groomed well, they take care of themselves. Now, some people, when they retire, they grow beards and whatever, they, do whatever. But generally, once military, always military. Once organized, always organized. Unless you install programs of doubt and fear and disorganization, then you will become disorganized. So Jay, did he write back? I'll be happy to answer his question. Just have him post it. Sorry, we're on 7 different platforms right now. We're on 7 different platforms worldwide. I can't name all of the platforms because some of the algorithms will prevent us from broadcasting, or they won't push us out, is what it is. So consciousness lives in the mind. The mind lives in the body, and the body lives in the world. Okay, when you talk to religious people, okay, they will acknowledge and they will tell you that there is a separation from the body and the spirit. The body is the physical, the spirit is the spiritual. The body does the sinning. The body does the physical contact. The body initiates things. The body pulls the trigger of the gun. Okay. But what's the origin of the action? It's thought. Where does the thought come from? It comes from the mind. Where does that come from? It's that energy you have in here. You're not your body. You're not your name. You're that energy that lives in here. That's your spirit. You are a spiritual being having a physical experience. Did we pin his comment, Jay? Did he respond? Okay. So you're a spiritual being having a physical experience. The spirit always, 24/7, 365. The spirit always has authority over the body. Always. If you're not willing, it won't happen. You have to will it to be. That being said, it's your will that needs to be worked on. I get rid of anxiety in people. I get rid of depression in people. I get rid of things because they attach to it. That's all. It's that simple. When you attach yourself to something, you become it. You can attach yourself to depression. It's very easy. Very easy. It's very easy to feel sorry for yourself. It's very easy to feel rejected. It's very easy to feel anxious. All of the negative emotions are rooted in fear. It's very easy to be fearful. There's a lot out there that makes human beings fearful, or Homo sapiens fearful. So when fear happens, it's the job of the conscious mind to say stop and change your thoughts. Thoughts become things. The conscious mind is the gatekeeper. If you develop a good gatekeeper, okay, if you have a good security guard, it will keep negative thoughts out. It will keep bad thoughts away. But you have to say stop or no. When you get a bad thought, just say no or say stop. It's all about refocus, reframe. Okay, thank you, Jake. Refocus, reframe. How do you do that? Well, first you say stop. So the negative thought stops. Now, reframe the thought. If it's a bad thought, maybe the thought is, I'm at the dessert table and I want some pie. Maybe that's the thought. And you say stop. Reframe that. It feels good to weigh 190 pounds. Okay, pick the target, right? 190 pounds. Reframe it. Now you have turned something negative into something positive. Reframe. Now refocus. When you reframe something, just refocus now. Now the focus becomes what? It doesn't become the pie anymore. It becomes the 190 pounds. Now you have your refocus. Now you focus on that. Now you concentrate on that. Now you do that. Now you become that. Humans become what they practice. What are you practicing? Are you practicing fear or are you practicing love? I can tell you, I get, the majority of my clients are women, right? When they come in the door, they are frazzled because they're emotional beings and their emotions have been messed with. And when they leave, like right now, I have one girl that's been with me for 4 years. When I met her, she was fragile. She was in masculine energy. And right now, 4 years later, she's gentle and loving and she's so sweet and easygoing on her children. She's not that strict, hard mom anymore. She's very gentle with her children. She's very gentle with me. She's very gentle with everybody now. When she goes to work, she has to be a professional. She's in charge of a lot of people. My clients are mostly what I call high performance professionals because they have big responsibilities. In this book, I have stories. I wrote this book years ago, right? And I made it affordable. It's like $10 online. You can get it for free if you inbox me and just say, Junior, please send me the book. Whatever platform you're on right now, I will email it to you. The PDF copy, I will email. It's a PDF form, same thing, exactly the same. It's just not physical like this. It's on in a PDF. There's stories in here. There's one story about this lady. Okay, so this lady came to my school, and she saw what I did with her 5-year-old daughter. Her 5-year-old daughter came in carrying a little piggy, and she was clutching the piggy like this. She was so scared and so fearful, full of anxiety. And in 2 months, I had her standing in the center of the room, singing. And she was fully relaxed, and her mom goes, wow, because her mom was there every session. They're there together in the room. And her mom goes, wow, like, does this work with everybody? And I said, yeah. And she says, can I try? And I said, sure. And I gave her repetitive cycles of this vocalization process. That's why it's called the universal law of attraction and singing. It's not about singing or being a good singer. It's about what the human voice does to calm you inside, to bring confidence inside, so that your life path unfolds effortlessly, easily. So I gave her 9 months of training. And this includes affirmations, meditation, vocalization, and visualization. It included all of that. And I started giving her instructions on how to look at things, because when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. It's perception. If you perceive it to be hard, it will be hard. If you perceive it to be easy, it will be flow. And after 9 months, she walks in my office one day. You can read the story, it's in here. I'll give you the PDF for free. She walks in my office, she goes, you'll never guess what happened. So I love to hear this, right? Because I hear this all the time. People tell me the stories. And that's why I wrote the book, because I wanted to share the stories with the world. Because they were little miracles. And she goes, you never guess what happened. I go, what? What happened? She goes, I filed for divorce. And I was like, whoa. Like, I didn't see that coming. She used to bring her husband. They used to be in the waiting room. I never saw any problems, never any, drama or anything like that. And all of a sudden, boom. I'm like, okay. I didn't ask questions. It was none of my business. Another story from the book is this lady. She was a grandmother. She was retirement age, 65. And she was living in her daughter's house. And I don't know what happened. That's not my concern. I don't ask. I don't pry. I don't, With what I do, so the difference between what I do and therapy is, with what I do, you never have to say what's wrong. It'll just fix it. Okay, so it's not like therapy where you have to articulate your challenges and, what's wrong and your messed up childhood and all that stuff. It's not like that. It's this working, whatever you call this, a spirit, a soul, whatever you call it. But that's what it is, working. The kingdom is in here. Jesus Christ said the kingdom is in here. God lives in here. So it's God working. But this lady, she was a grandmother, 65. she lived with her daughter and her husband and her son, her grandson. And she brought her grandson in. And then she wanted to try. And I think I worked with her for about 6 months. And she came in one day and she brought me a basket, like snacks, like a big basket of snacks. She said, I just want to thank you. She goes, I want to thank you so much because my whole life changed. And I finally had the guts to move out of my daughter's house. And I'm by myself. And my buddies, they're all the same age. These girlfriends. My girlfriends, they all come over now. We drink wine. We have fun. We celebrate. We're living the good life and we're enjoying. And I was like, wow, that's great, At first, I thought she was just uncomfortable at the daughter's house or something, or maybe feeling restricted or something. And then the clincher came, and then she goes, and, so this is the second half, she goes, and I left everything to Taylor, her grandson. But when he's 50, so she doesn't get any of it. And I was like, whoa, dun, 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 that kind of thing. And I was like, wow. Like, it must have been something she was enduring. You see, you never know what people are going through. You never know the struggles people are going through. You never know what's happening to people in here. And sometimes it's caused by someone out here. So anyway, she told me that, and I was like, wow. I love changing people's lives. I love it. It's my hobby. It's what I do. It's my dharma. If you ask an Indian person from India what dharma is, they will tell you it's your purpose. It's why you're here. It's why you're on earth. So find your purpose. Consciousness lives in the mind lives in the body, and the body lives in the world. You will have that natural inclination to do something. You will have that natural gift or talent to do something. And when you follow that, instead of choosing something that makes money, when you do your affirmations, meditation, vocalization, and visualization, God will open the door. God lives in here. God will open the door, and your life path will unfold. And the superconscious, which is God, that we put God in under that label, okay? Everybody believes different. I'm not here to tell you what to believe. But the superconscious will start bringing the right people into view. The right people will come into play. The right people, the right circumstances, the right opportunities. And it'll be like effortless. Like you just take the step, boom, God's here. You take the step, boom, God's over there. Take the step over here, boom, God's over there. Whatever you call it. You can call it God, you can call it Allah, Jesus Christ, Source, Universe, whatever you prefer to call that, however you believe. But however you believe, that's what happens. First you get the idea, right? I want to work at XYZ company. Then one day you go to the gym and you go, wow, what a coincidence. I met this guy and he's the HR at XYZ company. And he told me there's some openings. And he told me to go and fill out an application. So I went and I took my resume. And in less than a week, I was working for the XYZ company. Coincidence or God? Coincidence or superconscious? When your conscious, subconscious, and superconscious work together synergistically in flow state, okay? Everything lines up effortlessly. Did I have to work for what I have? Did I have to work for my companies? Yeah, sure. But it's what I love to do. I do this 1 hour every day, community service. This is my community service, 1 hour every day. I don't get this hour back in my life. So far, we've done over 100 hours. We started in April. 3 months of 1 hour a day. So I give God 1 hour of my time every day. I give it to God. And in return, God gives me everything else. But it's also the work that I put into my clients. And the blessings come. So how does that work? Well, what you give, you get. I'm not here to sell you anything. I have nothing to sell you. I'm just here for an hour every morning. There's no sales pitch. There's no package. There's no offer. There's none of that. If you want to seek me, you know where I am. You can seek me out. But I'm just saying, if you want something, give it first. If you want love, give it first. If you want attention, give it first. If you want money, give it first. Some people tell me, I don't have any money. I'm like, do you have pennies at home? Oh yeah, I have pennies. Okay, take those pennies and go give them to some children. Pennies are a big deal for children. May not be a big deal for an adult. You may give a couple of pennies to somebody. They may be insulted because it's not a couple of dollars or a couple of $100, depending on the individual. You see? But children will be happy. Give it to them. My point is, you have to find the appropriate recipient for whatever it is that you're giving. You want to give to people that appreciate. You want to give to good receivers. And in order to be a better giver, you need to be a good receiver. How does that happen? Well, you know when you give money to somebody and you go, here's $10. And they go, no, wait, what's that for? What's that for? And they get all shook up like that. They have receiving issues. They have issues in receiving. You ever see somebody hold a credit card like this, like they're worshiping it, like it's a sacred item, and they take your credit card like this, and then they process your payment, and then they give it to you back like this? They're worshiping the card. It's a plastic card, but they're worshiping the card and the money behind it. Those people have hang-ups either way about money. Because if your hang-up is receiving, you're gonna go, no, what's that for? What's that for? Okay? If you're worshiping money like this, you have a bigger problem. You have a bigger problem. Because now you're worshiping an inanimate object, a piece of plastic that represents a bank account or a credit line. That's a problem. Because now you have your values mixed up. Now you have your priorities out of line. People come first. God comes first. Whatever you call this in here, because you're not your body, you're not your name, you're that energy that lives in here, that spirit that lives in here, that awareness that lives in here, and it's connected to the divine because God lives in here. You're a piece of that energy in here, and you've been given a body. And your body is raised from the ground. Everything that comes out of the ground feeds you. And you grow. And one day, you go back into the ground. So you're only here for a while. But this energy here, this energy is eternal. This does not die. It leaves the body. It does not die. Look up metempsychosis. METM psychosis. Look it up. It's a thing. Einstein told us energy cannot be extinguished. It can only be transformed. It cannot be eliminated. So in other words, that would suggest that there is an amount of energy that always has been, that always will be, that is a part of metempsychosis. That process. I'm not making any claims, I'm just posing this thought to think that just maybe in one life you were the tree, in one life you were the lily pad, in one life you were the frog, but now in this life you're a Homo sapien. In this life you possess the kingdom. Because in here lies awareness. Frogs don't have that. Horses don't have that. Dogs don't have that. Cats don't have it. They have this one experience. They cannot observe themselves. But because you are awareness, because God lives in here, because your higher self, source, universe, however you define it, lives in here, you have the ability to exercise that energy, that spirit, that soul, and have, do, or be anything you wish. When you come from energy, because everything is energy, when you come from energy and you start looking at life as energy, from energy. Hey, user the cookies. Good morning. Good morning, Ms. Hall. Good morning, Gabriella. Good morning, Maya. Good morning, Benji. Good morning, Marie. When you start to look at things as energy, and you start to observe the synchronicities, and you start to observe these things that the average everyday people call coincidences. And then you look at how these things are connected. Then you look at how these things play out. Because you can't normally see it when you're in it, in real time. But you can look back and go, oh, this led to this, led to this, led to this, and got me here. And you can connect the dots. But from one dot to the other dot, you have to know that there are infinite possibilities. Quantum physics is proving that to us. They're not finished yet, but they're proving this. So when you're at this dot and you're planning to get to this dot, the road from this dot to this one presents an infinite amount of possibilities. What do the long fingernails mean? I play Spanish guitar, so I have long nails on this hand and short nails on this hand. In fact, I might, someone asked me to, they searched me out online and they saw that I was an entertainer, and they asked me, like, why don't you sing a song on your live? So maybe on Friday in Hawaii, I'm in Hawaii. In Hawaii, it's Aloha Friday. Every Friday we call it Aloha Friday. So I might sing a song for you on Friday at the end of our live. So join us on Friday for the live. At the end of the live, the last 4 minutes or so, I'll sing a song for you. I used to do that for a living. I've had multiple careers. I'm what they call a multi-hyphenate. That's a fancy way of saying I do different things. Anyway, so good morning, Billy. Thanks for coming back. You followed me on Facebook? Oh, great. Thank you. I'll go look for you. Or just inbox me and I'll send you a copy of the book. So this is the book again. Okay. It's on Amazon, but you get it for free as a part of this live. And all you have to do is send me your email. So whatever platform you're on, just message me and I'll send you a copy of this absolutely free. Okay, so from point A to point B, there is an unlimited amount of avenues to get there from A to B. But most people that have educated us, have put us in a box, right? Because what do they say? Well, you could take the high road or you could take the low road. They put you in a box. You go here or you go there. You make this choice or you make that choice. There's an unlimited amount of choices between point A and point B, and the choices go like that, and it's unlimited. That's what quantum physics is showing us. And when you choose the way, it will get you from A to B, guaranteed. Just not like you think. God works like a GPS, okay? So let's say you start out on a journey from A to B. So you make a choice and you start out halfway, you go, no, I'm gonna change my mind. I think I wanna go this way to B. Now God acts like a GPS. You know the GPS, when it recalibrates like this, it's recalibrating based upon your choice, right? Because maybe it had you go like this, but you know the shortcut over here, so you go on the shortcut. Now the GPS is like this. It's recalibrating. And then it lays out the path like that. That's how God works. God goes, oh, God, universe, source, Jesus Christ, Allah, insert belief there, okay? But that's how it works. And then God goes, okay, wait, hang on, and then boom, 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 like that, and lays out the path like that. So if you keep changing your mind, just know that you have to allow for a little time for the superconscious to lay out the path. For the superconscious, thank you, Billy, for the superconscious to lay out the path for you. Because when the superconscious lays out the path, what that means is it's going to bring the right people at the right time, the right opportunities, the right situations to get you to B from point A to point B. That's the way it happens. People see this as coincidence. You know, oh, XYZ company, right? And then, oh yeah, I went to the gym and I met this guy and then we started talking. And then, oh yeah, he was the HR guy and whatever. Now I'm working at XYZ company, you see? Coincidence? So science is telling us now that as long as we focus on the destination, as long as you focus on the eventuality, what this looks like. So you have to plan it, you have to describe it in detail. What does it look like? So you're working at XYZ company, in what capacity? Oh, I'm a manager. What kind of manager? I manage the warehouse. What kind of warehouse? The warehouse that has the products or whatever. You have to be descriptive. You have to describe the eventuality. You can't just say, oh, I want the love of my life. It could be a dog. Many people have dogs that they love with their whole life and their companions, okay? But maybe you had a Homo sapien in mind. Maybe you have a human in mind. Okay, what does she look like? Does she have blonde hair or brown hair, black hair, red hair? How tall is she? What kind of education does she have? What kind of money does she make? What kind of car does she drive? What kind of house does she live in? Write it down. Be specific. Be specific. We did this experiment on the radio once when I used to work in radio. I worked in radio as well. I did entertainment, radio, television. I did all of that. That was another life. But we did this live on the radio where 3 people wrote down in detail what kind of girl they want to meet. I was one of them and 2 other guys. And guess what? We all met that girl. We all met that girl within 2 weeks' time. So when you make your intention, be clear. You have to have clarity as to what you want. The how is God's job. Let God figure out how. Your job is the what and the why. You're blonde? Nice. Don't make you jealous. Okay. The how is always God's job. You just need to know what you want to do, or what you want, or what you want to be, and why. And hopefully there, somewhere within those parameters, you're providing a service to humanity. You're providing service to the community. Hopefully it's not just for yourself. But that can work as well. But by making the world a better place, by being the change that you want to see in the world, you bring more blessings to yourself. When I started my first company was like, for me, it was a production company. The second company, which is still bringing in blessings today, is called Voicemaster Vocal Development. You can look it up. It's a thing. But that company developed people. That company developed voices. When you find your voice, you find yourself. That company served others. It was a service. We were providing a service, but we were changing lives. We were changing human beings. And those are the miracles that are written in the book. The third company, my third company, is a consulting firm. It's still here today. VMAC Consultants. You can look that up. You can see our work. It's all online. My fourth company was AFM Hawaii Music. That's the DBA. It's AFM Worldwide LLC. That company served others. It helped people live their dreams. The consultant company was more business, more for companies, that kind of thing. But if you can find the company that, or the business that, or the service that serves others, it will bring blessings. As a result, I can never get rid of the singing school, which became Voicemaster Vocal Development. We were the first in Hawaii. We were the first professional, organized, commercial voice school in Hawaii. Before that, you had to know someone in the music industry, and they had to refer you to one of 2 teachers. I was lucky I became the student of one of those teachers. I did my classical music foundational work, foundational studies. And it kind of went from there. But if you look up our companies online, they're there, they're active, they're working. You can go to the website, you can inquire accordingly. But just know that what brings in the blessings, we started Here For You Life Coaching in 2010. It's another company that belongs to the parent company of Voicemaster Enterprises. And you can look that up. We have a perfect score. We only have 5-star ratings. Good day. Good day, Afrocentric. Thanks for joining us again. Thank you. Thank you for coming. And here for you, life coaching serves people. That's what I'm doing now with my community service. This is my community service. I have nothing to sell you. I'm not going to pitch any packages. I'm not going to try to make you an offer. Nothing like that. But this company, Here for You Life Coaching, serves people. Voicemaster Vocal Development serves people. The other companies serve companies and businesses. AFM Hawaii Music serves people as well. So, 3 companies. But these companies can never not be, because there's a commitment to serving people. So the same way people make a deal with the devil, you have to make a deal with God, or whatever you believe is your higher power. My deal is I will develop and I will help as many people in my lifetime as possible. And in return, God will give me everything I ask for. And so far, everything has gone according to the deal. So the question becomes, what kind of deal are you going to make? What kind of deal are you going to make with God? Make a deal. Don't make a deal with the devil. That never works. It never turns out well. It doesn't play out well. It doesn't go long term. It doesn't go the distance. Make a deal with God instead. Or let's say it another way. Here's the 50 percentile, okay? On this side, there's God. On this side, there's good, evil, God, devil, okay? Make a deal with this side. Because this side, negativity, devil, evil, all of that, only has so many steps down, and then you're done. Okay, when you go down too much, you hit the street. After the street, you hit the prison. After the prison, you hit the graveyard. What about this side over here? Well, there's no end. There's no end to positivity. There's no limit to the amount of money you can make. There's no limit to the amount of cars you can have, or homes you can have, or boats you can have, or anything. It's unlimited. Just as it's unlimited in the choices you have between point A and point B. It's up to you to choose. But just know that when you choose, when you make up your mind, in detail and you focus on the result, every time you step, God will be there. You step, God will be there. You step, God will be there. And guide you to your eventuality or your goal or your manifestation. We can say it a multitude of ways. Or to your desired result, or to the thing you want. I can go on and on. But you can live the life of your dreams. I did, and I am. I continue to live the life of my dreams because I designed my life with this thing here. I started with one of these. So design your life. I am so happy and grateful now that I am what? What are you? What do you want to be? Put it right there. Okay? You can live the life of your dreams. All right, so it's 8 o'clock. Hey, buddy. Oh, Bubby. Hey, Bubby. How you doing, Bubby? Join us here tomorrow, Bubby. I'm out of time. It's 8 o'clock in Hawaii right now. 8 a.m. in Hawaii right now. Take care, Bubby. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, Jay. Okay, Jay's giving me the signal. It's time to go, so we're going to cut our live stream loose from our other